This was extremely disrespectful to the Japanese people, and unsurprisingly, reactions were not pleasant. All of these things were slowly accumulating and giving Johnny the attention he wanted, but this would eventually lead to his arrest. After his arrest, the streamer was ordered to pay a fine of close to $1,400 and would apologize in the court saying, "I'm embarrassed. I apologize to everyone I've caused trouble. I will no longer broadcast videos. I want to return to my home country and continue my studies and be a role model." Many people on the internet reacted to his arrest, including Penguin Zero, who talked about how much of a douche the streamer was.
Johnny Somali is a name you might have heard a couple of times over the last few months because he has said himself that he will do anything necessary to achieve clout, and the path he's chosen for that is to go to Japan and just harass everyone by spamming racist shit at them and a lot of deplorable garbage. So he got arrested because he broke into a construction site on stream, and there's footage of him being arrested because he films everything that happens there because it's all content. And this might actually be the happiest moment of his life because he knows this is another article about to be written about him, which means maybe a couple extra viewers there to point and laugh at him like the clown he is. He's just been terrorizing Japan. And after months of documented evidence of his behavior and the deplorable things he's done over there, I don't understand why they'd let him stay there with no problem at all.
However, everything that happened with the streamer in Japan has only served as a springboard for Johnny, who found himself in the public spotlight for a brief moment. But as is the case with many other streamers who do something controversial for clout, they realize that it's a slippery slope with no end in sight. So in Johnny's case, it doesn't help that his fans don't really care about him as a person and only want to see him put himself in dangerous situations.
The amount of times that his chat has gotten him beat up or arrested is incredible. Like, this man can't go live without getting his pushed in or it finishing with him in handcuffs, all because he's following the chat's advice. And he's so delusional he doesn't recognize that they're only there watching, waiting for him to get hurt and nothing else. They're laughing at him, not with him, but he doesn't recognize that. And he does all of this ridiculous shit with a goofy, stupid smile on his face as he ruins his life live for the entertainment of his audience that's treating him as like a human experiment.
So to stay relevant, Johnny has once again found himself as the center of attention for harassing a female officer in Tel Aviv.
Oh, you a bad bitch, I swear to God. You a bad bitch, I'll take you to dinner. I swear to God, I'll change your life. I'll change your life, baby. Baby, I'll change your life, I promise you.
And soon after, he would face the consequences of his actions swiftly when another officer arrived and arrested Johnny.
I'm in the sidewalk. I'm in the sidewalk.
This is from one of his more recent arrests in Israel. You can see him start to panic and spamming "I'm American" as if that's somehow going to save him here, like that's his safe word that's going to get him out of this situation. It's like, oh my god, pardon me, I didn't realize you were American. Let me dust you off. Fucking goober.
But just like last time, he was let off pretty easily.
But yeah, this is how his streams go. He just causes as many problems as possible for his audience, and then it either ends with him missing some teeth or him missing some freedom in a prison cell. But unfortunately, no matter how many times he gets arrested, for some reason, they keep releasing him. Like, it's so weird. This guy's a fucking loser. Everyone knows that. I'm not even gonna bother saying his name because he's just a vermin whose brain is so poisoned by clout that the only thing he thinks matters in the world is attention.
If Johnny keeps up his kick streams, it probably won't be long until he faces a fate like the next influencer who almost died after harassing a stranger. This influencer is none other than Tanner Cook. Tanner Cook started his YouTube journey in 2022 when he started his channel Classified Goons, a channel which centered around playing pranks on unsuspecting people.
Jesus Christ.
Judging by the titles of his videos, you'd assume that Tanner's pranks are quite harmless, but considering how Tanner's come in pretty late in the world of YouTube pranking, he would have to bring something unique to the table, and as a result, Tanner would often take things a bit too far during his prank videos.
Get out of here. No. Get out of here. What's going on?
on, boss.
So, I can hear you. I don't know. Have you told someone?
It was obvious that Tanner's chase for clout and using people as the ammunition for his content was never going to end well, and unfortunately, something terrible would happen to him. On April 2nd, 2023, Tanner and his filming crew would go to the Dulles Town Center where they would harass people by playing a recording saying, "Hey dipshit, stop thinking about my twinkle." Tanner would find himself near the food court where he spotted the unsuspecting victim of his prank who would change the course of Tanner's life forever. The victim, Alan Coley, was at the food court to pick up a delivery when Tanner ran into him.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
What's that mean?
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Get on my face and call cops.
Alan can be seen repeatedly trying to get away from Tanner and told him to stop numerous times, but Tanner wasn't backing away. But then, Alan did something no one expected.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop.
Alan Tanner the lower area of his chest. He was immediately taken to a nearby hospital where he would spend the next couple of days fighting for his life after the bullet. Tanner would find himself near the food court where he spotted the unsuspecting victim of his prank who would change the course of Tanner's life forever. The victim, Alan Coley, was at the food court to pick up a delivery when Tanner ran into him.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
What's that mean?
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my
Get
twinkle.
on my face and call cops.
Alan can be seen repeatedly trying to get away from Tanner and told him to stop numerous times, but Tanner wasn't backing away. But then, Alan did something no one expected.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop.
Alan Tanner in the lower area of his chest. He was immediately taken to a nearby hospital where he would spend the next couple of days fighting for his life after the bullet pierced his stomach and liver. Following the shooting, Alan was arrested in the mall and was charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm, and commission of a felony in Tanner would find himself near the food court where he spotted the unsuspecting victim of his prank who would change the course of Tanner's life forever. The victim, Alan Coley, was at the food court to pick up a delivery when Tanner ran into him.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
What's that mean?
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my
Get
twinkle.
on my face and call cops.
Alan can be seen repeatedly trying to get away from Tanner and told him to stop numerous times, but Tanner wasn't backing away. But then, Alan did something no one expected.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop.
Alan Tanner in the lower area of his chest. He was immediately taken to a nearby hospital where he would spend the next couple of days fighting for his life after the bullet pierced his stomach and liver. Following the shooting, Alan was arrested in the mall and was charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm, and commission of a felony in discharging a firearm inside of a building. Alan pleaded not guilty as his Coley was at the food court to pick up a delivery when Tanner ran into him.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
What's that mean?
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
No.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my
Get
twinkle.
on my face and call cops.
Alan can be seen repeatedly trying to get away from Tanner and told him to stop numerous times, but Tanner wasn't backing away. But then, Alan did something no one expected.
Hey dip, quit thinking about my twinkle.
Stop.
Alan Tanner in the lower area of his chest. He was immediately taken to a nearby hospital where he would spend the next couple of days fighting for his life after the bullet pierced his stomach and liver. Following the shooting, Alan was arrested in the mall and was charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm, and commission of a felony in discharging a firearm inside of a building. Alan pleaded not guilty as his defense attorney argued that Alan felt threatened by Tanner, whose large fame and intimidating demeanor came as a threat to him, and the jury ruled in favor of Alan. This was a disappointment to Tanner's father, who said in an interview, they were making a video at the mall and trying to have fun with people, and this guy wasn't having fun. There was a phone that was around him and they were interviewing or talking to him, and he didn't like it and he pulled out his gun and shot my son. The internet was split on the decision as many people had different views on the entire situation. One side of people held opinions like these. Imagine getting for 17,000 views. This dude can't even go viral. Mom is a clown, dad is a clown, kid is absolutely a clown. While on the other side, people believe that Alan's actions were too extreme.
Oh, this is what sucks about this, is because I'm fine with people getting in self-defense. There are some problems for which the solution is a going into a person. Legally, morally, tactically, sometimes that's the answer. This is not one of them.
After the decision was announced, Tanner's mother was interviewed where she talked about her side of things, but Tanner was as unserious as ever, mocking Alan in the process.
And regardless of the outcome, you know, the jury's the jury, and we totally respect how our law plays out, and this was the outcome today, and we respect that.
Furthermore, Tanner also said that he wouldn't stop making videos on his channel, and from his more recent uploads, it appears that Tanner hasn't learned his lesson.
Your name, your date of birth, all your basic information. I'm gonna add you guys to a trespass log. You guys won't be able to come back here for the next 6 months, and then that's it.
Me too.
Even after getting shot through the stomach, Tanner didn't change his attitude a single bit and uses tragedy to get more views on YouTube. To this day, his best performing video is one titled I Got Shot. Almost no comment on his video supports his actions, but as long as Tanner can make national news, getting shot is a small price to pay for clout. The next person on this list, Vitaly ZDTV, hasn't yet ran into someone as extreme as Alan Coley, but if he keeps up his antics, it won't be long until he does. Vitaly ZDTV was another big YouTube prankster in the early 2010s, captivating audiences with a brand of comedy that was immensely popular at the time. However, the facade of the YouTube prank scene began to crumble as many creators, including Vitaly, were exposed for staging many of their pranks.
What happened? I called out every prankster because I already agreed. I already told you guys that I faked some of my pranks. It's old news. And then he kept saying that all the pranks are fake on YouTube, speaking for me while I'm fucking going out there, risking my life, doing this hard shit.
So Vitaly went down a different path, producing shock value content in an effort to go viral. Vitaly's audacious stunts included climbing the Great Pyramid of Giza, an act that landed him in Egyptian prison.